Kalamandapam has been doing Andal story. It is more a real thing that happened 1,000 years ago. And we have kept it as our tradition to narrate the story on 15th of December every year and continue with Pasurams performances every morning and cultural programs every evening for 30 days. That is how much time the Margazhi month celebrations happen. So along with that, we've been doing this for so many years. Every year we do it. It's a beautiful feeling, it's a new feeling, it's an inspiring feeling. So I want you all to listen to this beautiful story of Andal, and let us start it very auspiciously with narrating this story. And along with me, Subhash Vinjamuri and Kamalakiran Vinjamuri will be also anchoring this program. I am Mrinalini Sadananda. Namaste.
Kamalakiran Vinjamuri, namaste.
I am Subhash Vinjamuri, namaste.
So, can we first talk about Andal and how it relates to us in our family? Vinjamuri, Srivilliputturu, there's a lot of connections there. So, let's talk about the personal part and then we'll go to the story.
Yes. Personally, 1,000 years ago, my grandfather, that means a great-great-grandfather of 1,000 years. His name is Vinjamuri Yajnamurti. And he was debating with Bhagavan Ramanuja about what? About the philosophy, the Vaishnava philosophy. They were debating about that. And there were a lot of disputes and questions and answers that are agreeable to Ramanuja and that were not agreeable to my grandfather, and vice versa. This was happening. And that night of the debate, Bhagavan Narayana, Sri Ranganatha, he appeared in the dreams of my grandfather of 1,000 years and said, Ramanuja is a Karana Purusha. There is a reason why Ramanuja is born. So, do not argue with him. Don't argue with him. And just surrender to this great soul, Bhagavan Ramanuja. So my grandfather, of course, got up, went to the debate, wherever they were debating, went there, prostrated to Bhagavan Ramanuja, and he said, I surrender to you. And Ramanuja said, Ningadai and Berman. That is what he told my grandfather. This is the story. And when I went there to Srivilliputturu for a performance, it's a government program, I heard this story from my parents. This my father has told us, my mother has told us. But it remained as a story to me in my mind. But when I went there to perform in Srivilliputturu, then I was walking with the executive officer there for the temple, and I said, it seems my ancestors walked in this same area, and how fortunate I am, I'm able to walk in the same area of Srivilliputturu temple. Then he asked me, who are they? Then I said, Vinjamuri family. Then he looked at me, he said, you belong to Vinjamuri family? This whole prakaram, around the prakaram of the temple, every other house is a Vinjamuri house. It's very interesting. So many Vinjamuri homes are there. And he said, are you familiar with them? I said, no, I'm not familiar with them. Because we moved to Andhra Pradesh, my grandfather and my father's side moved to Andhra Pradesh, right, one generation. So I have no idea. They told the story, I know the story, but I have no idea about Srivilliputturu. How fortunate I was able to dance in Srivilliputturu. So he said, okay, let's go to the temple. And he said, your great-grandfather is 1,000 years old. They have taken his idol and they have installed that idol in the temple itself. And I could not believe my ears and eyes. So at that time I was so excited. I called the musicians, that were accompanying my dance program, and I showed them this along with me. They were also there when they narrated this information to me. So this is a very personal touch we all have.
Yes.
So it is an incredible experience that I had.
Is there a temple of our ancestor, grandfather?
The grandfather's idol is in the temple.
In the Sriviliputtur.
Yeah, in the Sriviliputtur temple. There is a Lord Venkateshwara temple, and then his idol was established, and they had celebrations. He told me they had celebrations just prior to my coming. They had celebrations and all that. So that was a
Very exciting.
very exciting. I mean, it's unbelievable. And those standards, to keep up those standards, it's tough.
Yes, we have now a responsibility.
And we also
Keep
have
that tradition. It has been, of course, continuing. It has been coming since then. And we, even as children, used to perform Tirupavai every in the Dharmasam, and we do a lot of prasadams. And each day there is such a certain way of doing the prasadam. And one day we have to do Pongal, one day we need to do Thai sadam, which is Dadojanam, and yogurt rice otherwise, and sweet Pongal or hard Pongal, and other things. And every day has a special day to perform the puja as well as to perform a particular type of prasadam and offer to the god. And then we used to go to the temple, Ranganatha temple, very close to our house. It's known as Ranganaki temple. We used to go there early morning with our father. First, we used to chant all these 30 pasurams. Then my mother and our mother used to offer the prasadam, Naivedyam, and then we used to go to the temple, where we again render all the 30 pasurams, and they give us some prasadam. So we take that prasadam, come home, and then my eldest sister Hemanta Vinjamuri used to render the same pasurams, Andal, Hemanta Devi of Tirupati. She renders the same thing, pasurams, in Telugu. So it used to be wonderful. And then I've come to know the Telugu translation is done by the father-in-law of my sister Mrinalini Sadananda. She will explain all that.
So before we go, let's do the story of Andal.
Yes. The story of Andal is just beautiful, just phenomenally beautiful. We don't call it a story because it's 1,000 years ago. Today also we see the Pasurams. We read the same Pasurams that Andal wrote. So it can't be called a story, but for our convenience we are calling it a story.
A story
But
that
it was a
happened,
factual
really
matter that happened, that Andal wrote 30 Pasurams, and in which
Also
she
Varun
described-
Mayam.
Many, Nachiyar Tirumozhi, she wrote many.
Many other things. Yeah.
And so these Pasurams, each day we do narrate one Pasuram, and if you have time you do all the 30. But the second day, if you're not doing the 30 Pasurams, we read the first Pasuram and the second Pasuram.
Yeah.
And the third day, consecutively.
Yes.
That's how we were doing it for 30 days. And so it is a factual matter, but as I said, let's call it a story. But the story is the truth. Now, Andal, how she was born? She is born to a priest, Vishnu Chitta. Vishnu Chitta had a temple in Sriviliputtur, and he would go to the temple every day, do the routine, whatever needs to be, all the things that needs to be done for the Lord. He would finish everything and come home. And there was a burning desire in him that he wanted to have a child like Andal. Of course, like Sita Devi, we have all these.
Some child demands.
He wanted
A child to rise up and
Follow the
enjoy that
Follow
the planet. Yeah, that's what he wanted.
So then he wanted to have a child. And of course, after a puja, I am sure he must have expressed this like you and I express our desires to the Lord. He must have mentioned, the very fact that he had that feeling, God blessed him. So, how was the child born? There is a Tulasi Kota, a fort, a small fort where Tulasi Devi is there. And then when Vishnujita went there, he heard the cry of a little baby. How could it be possible? Where is the baby? Then he looked around and he realized that the baby is just in the earth itself, near the Persicotta, that little fort. So he was, it's an unbelievable experience for him also. Then he cleaned up and took the baby out and raised her as we call her Goda Devi or Godai, Napinna Perati. She has many names. Andal, several names. So he was raising that child as Andal. Let's, for our context, Andal, he was raising her. And Andal is very playful, like any child, playing around. But her attraction, she always had a Krishna idol. That, a little icon or idol of Krishna. And she would play with Krishna. While probably other children were playing with other toys and everything, she was playing with this. And
And after she will ask them, don't waste the time playing unnecessary games, come and let us play with Radha Krishna, let us do dance, let us sing. Like that she used to tell to her friends. They are all little children.
Okay, so she was telling that, and what happened as she was raising, there was a time when the father felt the girl is ready to be married. So he was actually looking for boys around, and that is our tradition. And so he found many boys. She's the most beautiful child. She's a divine child. Obviously, she is extraordinarily beautiful. So many people wanted this girl to be married into their family. But Andal said, no, I want to marry Lord Ramanatha. In the beginning, it looked like fun and enjoyable. But as time passed, the father was very much worried. She's telling everybody, I want to marry this Ranganatha.
And also she used to make a garland.
That is all later.
Later part of the story.
So she was, she wanted to marry. Then it was okay. And every day she will go to the garden, pick up flowers, and then make beautiful malas, garlands, and then she will come and put it for us.
So this whole story now you're saying she's putting malas, that's all in the Pasurams, right? That's how we know that.
Yes.
I also heard that she will first wear the mala garland.
That's later in the story. So how you are saying she's getting the mala with the friends and all?
We know there are Pasurams that will say, hey, she will go to house, call the girls and tell them, time up, we have to go, we have to pluck the flowers from the garland and we have to make garlands and we have to go to the temple. Why are you sleeping? There are all these, in the Pasurams it's all mentioned. Why are you sleeping? Don't be so lazy.
The temple is open. We need to go and have these actions.
So here, one break, can you say one of the Pasurams, the first one maybe, and we'll see what is said in the Pasurams here.
There are 30 Pasurams. The first
Just say the first one, Margazhi Tingal.
Yeah, the first Pasuram is Margazhi Tingal. And like that until the last one is Vangar Kadal Kadayana Madhavane Kesavane. The 30 Pasurams we always used to read in Tamil and then also the translation in Telugu so that we understand the meaning of it.
So can you recite the first one?
Yeah. Margazhi Tingal Madinidendam Andal Nerada Pudver Padmiro Nerilai Sirmalgumai Padi Salvatirmirgal Kurvel Kolindorian Nanda Gopan Kumaran Elarunda Kandiya Sodaila Singan Karmedi Changan Kadir Madhyam Bulmugatan Narayana Namakai Parai Karwan Pavur Pulit Padinjelo Rambhavai.
So here, Andal, I'm just reading the meaning here. On this auspicious Margazhi month, full moon day, like time, all the friends, she's saying, get dressed, let's go to the temple. The temple is full of virtues and wealth and it's the abode of the noble Krishna himself. We have to take the holy bath, we have to dress him up. Krishna is the son of Nanda Gopan. He holds a sharp spear and he's the beautiful son of Yashoda. We have to go and get ready for Margazhi. So she's welcoming Margazhi in the Pasuram itself.
The Pasuram itself. So this cannot be a story.
Yeah.
It's the truth what happened. So as he was raising the child, all the girls will make malas and everything. And one day, what happened? The father noticed that this girl, Andal, was wearing the mala, and then after that she took it and put it for the Lord.
She put it on herself before putting it on the Lord.
Yes.
Rather than the other way around.
And the tradition is the other way around.
Right.
So she has done that, and that was that.
And
Father could not tolerate that because it's not a tradition.
Yeah.
It's not a tradition. The Lord is her superior. But she is not looking at the Lord. The Lord is her husband. She is looking at the Lord in a different way. So he got very angry with her and threw that mala that was there, already adorned on the Lord, because she already wore it. So he threw that mala, and then he was very restless, and he wanted to sleep in the temple itself and slept in the temple.
And asking for forgiveness.
Yeah, he had asked for the forgiveness of the Lord and all that. He was very disturbed. So that night, the Lord said, see, what Andal did was right. That is the only way I like to be adorned. I really want Andal's garland. Andal should wear first. And I want to wear the mala that Andal wore.
And I'll be more happy in that way.
That is right. So that is what he said. So then that woke him up. Then he looked at the Lord.
And really,
The Lord was wearing the garland.
Oh.
The Lord was wearing the garland. Then it was evident for him. It's not just a dream, it's what the Lord wants.
Right.
So he went and told Andal, yes Andal, okay, you want to marry the Lord? I really don't know how the Lord is going to come and marry you, because right now he's in the form of an idol. But I trust what the Lord has said to me and how you are doing things. I trust this, so I'm going to go ahead. Because in the dream, the Lord also said, don't worry.
I'll come and
Make all the preparations that are needed for a girl's wedding. So you need a dais, you need a pandal, and you need all these alankarams and the beautiful decorations. When your daughter is getting married, whatever needs to be done, just do it. And it was just an incredible feeling for Andal and Vishnu Chitta. But the villagers were not so sure
Of course, yeah.
that this is going to happen. The villagers felt that it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
More or less they were ridiculing.
They also can't believe all these things, The Lord appeared and told, how can they believe?
Oh yeah, unless you experience
Yeah.
it.
It's an experience they had. So he said, no matter who believes or who doesn't believe, we are going to organize the wedding. So
They were all wondering.
he said, okay. But anyway, let me talk to the Lord and just appeal to him. My daughter is very young. She's not capable of doing very many things. She's raised like a princess because I'm the one who is doing all the prasadams and feeding the family and everything. So I have to tell the Lord. So he went and appealed to the Lord. Of course, it's only one-sided dialogue. He appealed to the Lord. And he said, oh Lord, my daughter is incapable of cooking for you. So, that is one of the ways that, that is the way you serve a husband. That is one of the expectations. So, because man does certain work and the women were doing certain work, and this girl has no idea of how to do any cooking. And so, she does not even know that you have to put salt in dal. Any lentils you make, you put a little salt in that, or any food you make, you put a salt.
Yes.
Without salt, it is tasteless. My child is so innocent, she doesn't even know that's what I'm adding every day, in my cooking. So, then I don't want you to be angry at that time. This girl doesn't know she came, absolutely unprepared.
So at that point, he's forgetting that he's talking to God, it looks like.
At that point, yes.
He's talking to his husband, son-in-law.
Would be son-in-law.
Would be, okay.
He was probably convinced, this, but he had to be factual about it, that his daughter is not prepared for this kind of lifestyle.
Right.
So the Lord said, in the night the Lord came into his dream. He said, here
You make the preparation.
Vishnu Chitta. I told you, make all the preparations, everything is
Nothing
agreeable
will be-
for me. So, even if she doesn't put uppu, I think that's what I like most.
Okay.
Whatever she does,
That
is
is-
always tasty for me.
Tasty
And I
for
enjoy
me.
it.
And I will enjoy that. So, now in Tamil Nadu, there is a very, very holy place where there is the Lord is called Uppiliyappan Kovil is there. The temple is there. In that Uppiliyappan Kovil, Uppu illada appan.
Yeah, no salt in the food.
No salt
in the prasadam.
So there when you go there in the Uppiliyappan Kovil, what you see is they give prasadam without salt. But I am telling you,
It tastes very
it
good.
tastes very good as if salt was added. I mean, it's exactly like that it tastes. Because it's the Lord's, glory. It is Him who told that, I am the Lord. I don't want salt. So all doubts were cleared. And the marriage function, they said okay,
They said
everything. And of course, all these little people were talking about, in the years.
How would God would come? Let us see this one.
Yeah. That is, they were all thinking like that. So at that time, what happened? She goes there, and the Lord was going in that as a Urugolam,
Ah,
in the chariot
right,
he was
right.
going. And then she comes there, and she's looking at the Lord, and then as she comes there, she merges with the Lord. And that is the divine wedding happens there, in that place. So the Lord came and married her, exchanged garlands, everything, and
To the surprise of everybody, even the other devotees and our friends, they were all shocked to see that. They were very happy because of Andal, they also could have the Dakshana, Lord Vishnu Narayana, Ranganatha.
Lord Ranganatha. This is the story, and Kalamandapam has performed many times ballet of Andal Kalyanam, and that is how she was married to the Lord. And so, to me, we all have a personal connection with this story, and also the whole world has a spiritual connection.
So you talked about the Vinjamuri side connection. Now, other side connection about the Pasuram translation you have to explain.
Yes. This is
Good,
this
remain.
is my father-in-law, Kuntimati Sesha Garu. He did not know any Tamil because he was also just like us. Their
Migrated
ancestors
long time
also
back.
migrated long time ago to Andhra Pradesh, but he is a very
Sanskrit
spiritual
scholar.
seeker. So,
And a Sanskrit scholar.
so without Sanskrit scholar and without knowing the Tamil language, he felt like he's going to miss a lot of things, like
The deeper meaning and all those things.
Narayana Prabandham, Divya Prabandham, he would not be able to read.
Tirupavai.
Tirupavai, he will not be like.
Varanamayam, anything.
Varnamayiram, he will not be able to. So he felt a deficiency without knowing the language. He felt lost, a part of it is lost. So he had studied Tamil. Then he took these pasurams, 30 pasurams, for the benefit of all Telugu devotees.
Translate.
He translated all the 30 pasurams into Telugu. And that we have, the Tirupati Devasthanam has published my father-in-law's works.
And so every year in Margazhi, we've been doing this for some years now. So one year we'll show the Tamil Tirupavais and there'll be a dance to it. And some years we'll do the Telugu. I think this year we're doing Tamil again.
Yes, alternate years.
Alternate years.
1 year we do the pasurams that my father-in-law wrote, all the 30 pasurams in Telugu.
In Telugu.
And the kids of Kalamandapam will perform. And the next year, following year, we do in Tamil. The original traditional pasurams. It will be done, the kids will be dancing in
The same passages are coming.
in Tamil. And
So we'll start the programs on December 16th is the first one, right?
the 15th, you will
15th
be
is
hearing us.
this story. 16th we'll start with the Pasurams. It'll go on for a month. In the morning will be the Pasurams and in the evening there will be some cultural program that will
Some
be
cultural program that will be
posted.
there. And all these things we are able to, we are sitting and doing all this, but my brother-in-law Sudha Sindhu will compile everything, and Satyapriya Ramana will put different dances and compile and give it to Sudha Sindhu, and Sudha Sindhu, my brother-in-law, will post it every morning in Kalamandapam site.
So please be on the lookout in the Kalamandapam YouTube channel and follow these celebrations with us. We are enjoying here during the season in Margazhi, so you can be a part of the Margazhi celebrations with all of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.